Hello, pre-algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here with another flipped lesson. We are going to be working with something called slope today. And, I kind of jumped the gun in the last video. I said that, well, tomorrow we would see how to use like that +5 or -3 at the end of certain equations. But we're not actually going to do it right now. So we'll actually be getting to that tomorrow's lesson. Before we do that, I have to teach you about slope. And slope, a very common definition, is something called the rise over the run. All right, now that's just a fancier way of saying the vertical movement over the horizontal movement. In other words, how much a hill or a line or a mountain goes up and over, or a ramp. Like, I know you've all seen ramps, right? Like a wheelchair ramp might look kind of like that, not very steep, but a really good roller coaster hill might kind of go up like this and then almost straight down, right? And that's a very steep slope there. Slope is just your rise over your run. It tells you how steep something is. Now, the really easy way to get the rise is we're going to count in the y direction. And then we're going to count in the x direction to get our run. All right. And once we have our y direction over our x direction, the counting that is, then we're going to simplify our fraction. And I'll show you how this works. It's super duper simple. Taking a look at this black line here in this equation, I'm going to circle any 2 points that I know for a fact are on the line. Now I'm going to pick these 2 points right here, and I'm going to count my rise. I'm going to count how much I go up. I go up 1, 2, 3. So my rise number is automatically 3. Now my run number is going to be 1, 2. 3 over 2 is my slope. I'm not going to turn that to a mixed number. I'm not going to go as a decimal. I'm going to leave my slope of the green or the black line as 3 over 2. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to do it for the kind of peach line this time. And I'm going to circle this point, and I'm going to circle this point here. And I'm going to go up 1, 2. And so my rise number for that second one is 2. Okay, so my rise number is 2. And then I got to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my run number is 6. Now in this case, I know that 2 6 simplifies to 1/3. So therefore my slope is 1/3. Okay, see how simple that is? Now by the way, I could point out to you that if I would have circled these 2 points, and I'll highlight them so they stand out, these two, and I rose 1 and then ran 1, 2, 3, okay, I get a slope of 1/3 without having to simplify. Okay, so I get the same slope without having to simplify. Sorry if I repeated myself, I got interrupted there. All right, let's check out slope on the blank one of this one here. And I'm going to highlight this one here and this one here. And I'm going to count down 1, 2. That means I have a slope of -2. How do I know it's negative? Because I counted in the negative direction. All right, and then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get a slope of -2/5 for the black line. No simplifying necessary. For this green line, I'm going to highlight any 2 points. And this time I'll do this one. And if you notice, I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get a -9 for my slope, and then my run is 1, 2, 3. So for the green one, I get a -9 over 3, which simplifies to -3 over 1. If you wanted to tell me -3, you could, or if you wanted to leave it as a fraction because we're doing the slope, that's okay. So all we're doing is counting slope right now. All right, 2 more, and then I'm all set. All right, this black line, I rise 0 when I move from one point to the other. So my rise number is 0, and then I run 1, 2, 3. 0 thirds, which is the same as 0. If I have $3 and I give you 0 of it, I've given you $0. All right, this one over here, I'm going to go from this point to this point, and I'm going to get a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a -4, and a run of 0. And you are never, ever, 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 ever allowed to divide by 0. Never divide by 0. We say that this line has no slope, or you could tell me that it's undefined. If you try to divide by 0 on your calculator, you will get an error message. You can tell me either one of those answers. All right, that's your lesson. It should be really simple. We'll see how you do on it tomorrow. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Good night, everybody.